Welcome back to another episode of Sips and Screams, where twin sister horror movie fanatics sip themed cocktails and discuss our favorites in the genre. Today we're going back to 2008, back to the lake. To which lake, you ask? Well, that would be Lake Mungo. Written and directed by Joel Anderson, starring Talia Zucker, Martin Sharp, Rose Traynor, David Pledger, and Steve Jodrell. This mockumentary-style horror is a twisty tale of mysterious drowning, a grieving family, potential ghosts haunting the family home, a way too invested medium psychic who just wants to help out the family, and oh yeah, it also has some somewhat convincing photography manipulation. Much more on that later. I'm Ashley, and joining me today, as always, is my twin sister, Allie. Allie, how's it going? You ready for Lake Mungo? I can't believe it. I can't believe we never did this yet.
I know, and you brought this to me. It's embarrassing to admit this, but I'd never heard of Lake Mungo, and you brought it to me recently and was so excited to cover it. We love found footage. For those of you who've been listening to our podcast, we are found footage fans, and I know this one's more of a mockumentary, but I put it in the same category, you know?
Yeah, I don't even know where I heard about it. I think somebody on Instagram posted about it. I'm like, what's Lake Mungo? And we'll talk later at length about, some of the inspirations and cliches and ripoffs. But what a movie. It's streaming on Amazon Prime right now.
I know.
And we can't wait to talk all about it.
Yeah.
As always, you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Our handle is at Sips and Screams Pod. And please like, rate, and subscribe and or leave a review. You can also email us at sipsandscreams.podcast@gmail.com. And we are absolutely everywhere where you get your podcasts. Okay, it is Friday night. We're recording this on a Friday, and it is time for a cocktail. I know, it's the best. So it is, what time is it out? You have to do it. I can't do it.
I know. I will always, you know what? I will never let you down, Ash, and I won't let anyone down. It is killer cocktail time, and it's Friday night, and we're excited for this.
Yes. We're so excited. And what a doozy we have for a cocktail. Yeah, what are we drinking?
Yeah, so for those of you who've watched Lake Mungo, and if you haven't, I'll spill the beans right now. There is not a lot of drinking in it other than I think some teenage drinking at Lake Mungo. But, since there weren't any, specific cocktails that we could get inspired by, we went with an old favorite. Yeah. We went with New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, everybody, some white wine. This is, for those of you who are watching, this is Ash and I's favorite. And there is nothing better on a Friday night. So I am here for this.
Whenever we're kind of lazy and I'm like, I don't know, there was no drinking, I don't really know what to do. We're like, go into the wine fridge. Let's have some New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. Newsy Sauvy B for those
Newsy Sauvy B.
All right.
I know.
What are you drinking? I don't even... Yeah, what are you drinking?
Right.
What kind?
Okay, so I'm finishing up a bottle of Oyster Bay right now, but I'm definitely going to get into the Whitehaven after I finish this. So yes.
I don't even know what this is. I don't know. It's like a me-high.
Kim Crawford's been bad.
No, it's not. I have a bone to pick with Kim Crawford. It is tasted like it's turned lately. It tastes like apple
something
juice,
up with it.
Basically.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's disgusting. Yeah. Don't get Kim Crawford right now. I don't know what's going on.
It's not its era. Guys, Oyster Bay is back. Whitehaven, new favorite. Definitely get that. Sorry, what are you drinking?
Okay, so I think it's this one. I forget what it's called. It's like Mihal or something. It's a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It's really good. Similar to Dashwood. It has more of a piney taste. And then I will be switching later probably to Oyster Bay. You know what I mean? Kind of a piney. Yeah, kind of like the pines in Lake Mungo, We're getting there.
Were there pines at Lake Mungo?
I don't know if there were pines.
We're getting closer. Yeah, we're getting closer.
Australia.
Whatever works. Yeah. That's true. Oh, we could have just went with that. The fact this was New Zealand and it's kind of close to Australia, and that could have been our thing. I didn't think of that.
Wait, we should redo this whole thing. Everybody, we are going with New Zealand's finest.
New Zealand's finest. I know it's not Australia, but New Zealand is right there.
You know what? It all makes sense. We got there eventually. We had a plan all along. Don't worry about us.
It took us a minute.
All right, it is time for Sips and Synopsis. Allie, why don't you take it away as always and tell us about the plot of Lake Mungo.
Lake Mungo, introduced to us in 2008. We're going kind of far back for this. Right, Ash? You watch it, you have to bring yourself back. Yeah. Fashion
tracks.
It does. Yes. So Lake Mungo 2008. So you mentioned this earlier when you were describing it. It is a mockumentary So, you know, a mockumentary, very haunting. I'd consider it found footage in a way. So it combines, you know, news interviews, documentary style. It's fantastic. That opening scene.
Oh, the pictures.
I know. I was waiting for a reaction from you. The opening scene, which is pictures, and then you sort of see some spirits or things in the pictures. It really sets the tone right away.
It's so good. I mean, we'll talk about
it's amazing.
Other movies that also did this. They were really inspired by Lake Mungo. Clearly,
yeah. They were, because this one came out in 2008. So, you know, it's the very beginning. We hear a young girl, teenage girl, talking about something bad happening is on its way. You kind of don't know where that's coming from, but again, some foreshadowing of the movie. And the movie starts out, it's December 2005, and there's an accident at a dam. So this, you know, something's very interesting. The movie is called Lake Mungo. The accident that happens is not at Lake Mungo, everybody.
It's not
just
Lake
so you
Mungo.
know. You know, I think when you first watch the movie, you think the drowning happened at Lake Mungo. It did not. It happened at a dam during this family vacation.
It opens with the lake. I mean, it's not like a far leap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
but
think it's
not
Lake
Lake
Mungo.
Mungo.
No, it's not a far leap. It's certainly not. But they're just like swimming. It's a family vacation. We learned there's some language at the beginning that's saying this series of extraordinary events that thrust this grieving family into the spotlight. So it's setting the stage right away. You know something bad is going to happen. You know that there's a family involved. They're grieving, and they become famous for it effectively. So December 2005, this found footage has, you know, this footage has been recorded. There's an emergency call. This takes place in Australia. This family's daughter is missing. 16 years old, Alice, right? So she was out there swimming with her brother, Matthew. It's the Palmer family. The dad, Russell, the mom, June, and Matthew was swimming with Alice, and he returned to shore. Can we call it a shore? It's a dam. Like, I don't really know what you call it. But Alice did not. Yeah. So they're obviously freaking out. Like, wouldn't you? Like, your daughter doesn't return.
This body of water it's very calm, right? So if they are insinuating that she drowned, I'm like, there's no waves or current. It's a lake. So it's
but not confusing. A lake. It's a lake, but not a lake. You know, it's a body of water that is forced
body of
from a
still
dam, I guess.
water that is very calm. Water.
They're swimming in it. But yeah, so you know, daughter Alice is missing. They've called the version of 911 in Australia, and they're told to go home, right? And wait for the news. Like pretty horrific. So this family drives home from the dam.
No, but they go home. I had that written down. I was like, huh? They just go home?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you be a little distraught and want to stay and watch the search team and rescue find your daughter?
And it's horrific, too, because, so the movie is the footage of the rescuers, the family being interviewed at some point later, and it kind of goes back in between those, and then news stories as well. So it's a lot of different formats of media that they're kind of stringing together for this movie to tell the story. But you know, it's incredibly like distressing when the family goes home. They leave the dad even talks about leaving the porch light on just in case she comes home. Like, it's incredibly sad.
Did you notice too, that was really sad, but the porch light is like a white, and then the rest of the house was lit in like an eerie green. You know, kind of like Amityville, but in green. I'm like,
I don't think I noticed that per se, but
when I rewatched it, I'm like, oh, it's very like this ominous demonic green.
Yes, yeah. But you know, a few days go by, and now it's Christmas Eve. It's December 24th.
Ugh.
Yeah, and you see again the movie. This movie is a mix between kind of the documentary style, news footage, some movie footage as well. Davros located a body in the dam.
Yeah. It's very sad.
And they let the family know. It's incredibly sad. So they have to drive back there. And again, it just gets sadder, everybody. And the father goes to identify the body. The mother's very distraught. June, she's very distraught. She can't do it. So the father goes and does it. And he's sort of foreshadowing when he says this too, right? Probably wasn't a good idea that only he went to view the body. So he confirms that the body is his deceased daughter, Alice. And dear God, the images of the body.
The body is...
I don't know what else to say, Ash.
Bloated. Looks like bruised.
A lot of stuff going on there.
It's not great, everybody.
It isn't.
So my first bone to pick with
Ash
this
loves
whole
her bones to
situation.
pick. I mean, it's a big part of the movie.
Yeah, I was so mad at the mom because her excuse was, it's very selfish. She says that she didn't want to go in to identify the body because she didn't want to remember Alice that way. She has her own memories. She did not want to remember her that way.
Yeah.
And this is like the equivalent to me as someone not going in to the vet's office when they put their pet down. Like I was not okay and immediately like hated the mom. And that kind of tainted my view for the rest of the movie, to be honest.
I think that's a really good
I didn't
point.
like that. And not that the father is without his issues, because he has some. I didn't like that. Who would do that? It just seems an odd thing to do.
It is. And then she was always like skeptical of it because she didn't view it too, and it created issues later. So completely agree with you, Ash. Yeah, I would. You till the bitter end, right? Like you do. So, I think this is an interesting part too. So Dad confirms that dead body is his deceased daughter, Alice. And this is an interesting part of it. So then they drive home. This is so weird. But their car's not working.
Backwards.
They can't go forward. So they can only drive in reverse out of this like remote rural road, which again, I don't really understand that. I think it's a very creepy visual for the movie, but I don't really understand that part.
There are some really weird things that are said in this movie. I think when we talk later about behind the scenes, I'll provide some context as to why
I please
some of this
I
might
need to
be
understand. Yeah.
kind of weird to understand. Strange to understand.
So, a few days later, autopsy happens. It's now December 27th. The body's released on December 28th. We have the funeral.
What a Christmas. Great.
Yeah. Those poor holidays are ruined for the Palmer family. There's a funeral. They're showing pics on the news. Again, it's at that point you're like, and they even mentioned this, right? They're interviewing a lot of family and friends of the Palmers, and they're like, it's hard to imagine how much worse it could get. So this is not rock bottom for the Palmer family. It gets worse, everybody.
It gets so much worse.
So much worse. So now we're at about 10 days after they found her body. And, at this point, things start happening around the Palmer's house. Yeah, so doors are slamming. They're hearing noises in Alice's former room.
Yeah. Coming from her room.
And people are even commenting how when you go into that room, there's this like bad feeling in your gut. Yeah. Things aren't good. June, the mom who would not go identify her daughter, and Ash takes issue with that.
I do.
She admits to having nightmares.
This is so good. The mom,
right? I know the mom. So, the mom at this point is admitting she's having nightmares of Alice. She's seeing her in her dreams, nightmares, whatever you want to call it.
On the edge of her bed.
Yeah. So her solution to this, though, is that she's going to just get up in the middle of the night to avoid sleeping. And she's just going to, wait for it, go into other people's houses in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
What?
I she has insomnia.
She wanders in. Also, they don't lock their homes. No,
it's not even insomnia. She's having these nightmares of her dead daughter, and she's like, I can't sleep. I'm gonna walk around the neighborhood, and you know what? I'm gonna go in people's houses because she said her excuse was she wanted to live in somebody else's life for a while
in the middle of the night, apparently.
So are these people in Australia just not locking their doors?
This is what I'm saying. I don't think they're locking their doors. I think, Ash, you know what? I think it's like a stereotypical safe community. But like, can you imagine waking up at like 2 a.m. or something and someone's just like in your neighbor's just in your kitchen? Like, what is she doing in there? Is she like watching TV?
I don't know. She doesn't elaborate.
She doesn't.
It's creepy. Very weird. And she says this, like this admission of this. It's like, I went to the store. Like, it's the most mundane thing that you did that day. You're like, I'm breaking into people's homes and I didn't see any problem with it. It is so weird. And they a lot of things in this movie, they just say it. It's like, here you go. And you're like, what?
Well,
and they never revisit it.
They don't. But to be fair, the movie's like stitched together recordings, right? It's news footage. It's the documentary. So
no, that's a good point, Al. Yeah.
But yeah, so June's just walking into people's houses in the middle of the night. And meanwhile, her husband, Russell, who identified Alice's body, he's just working a lot. So he's really, he's investing into work. Some of his colleagues are interviewed. They're worried about him.
Because he's not worried.
Don't work.
They're like,
he's just going about his life.
A little off-putting that he's just back to work. Like there's all these like pictures of him like looking at contracts and like.
But I suppose he had closure though, Ash. He had closure because he saw the dead body. So he's in a different state than June.
It's been like 10 days. I don't.
Okay. All right. You think you should be more distraught and not working? He's trying to, you know what? Forget about it, Ash. He's trying to forget
people grieve
about this horrible stuff.
His daughter. Okay. Well, I just, and then I start not to like the father. I'm like, what? What is happening with this family? But what in the Twilight Zone is happening?
But the father, okay, but there's further interviews with the father, right? And he does admit that he did have a dream. It's not even a dream. He claims he recalls it happening, right? Where he went into Alice's room. He walked in and he sees her in there sharpening a pencil in her old bedroom and checking a text message. And so he claims he saw Alice doing this in her room. And then she went rigid when it seemed like she heard him in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so she turned around and looked at him and then immediately starts telling him to get out. Right? Like yells at him. And so there's these instances and you're starting to see that, maybe Alice isn't gone.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like there's something happening.
Yeah.
Spirit's still there.
It does. It seems like she's there. You know, the family's starting to experience some things. You know, meanwhile, there's also some other interviews with the church-going folk of the town.
The way you say that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how else to say it because what they say is that the Palmer family were not churchgoers. So they're concerned about the son and everything, but they don't really know what to do because June and Russell are not churchgoers. So you know what? They're putting that line in the sand, Ash, not me.
Well, I mean, they're like, we don't know how to provide them with comfort. I'm like, I don't know. There's other things you can do.
You can.
I think you can provide some comfort.
I think you can. I completely agree with you. I mean, come on now. Mm-hmm. But you know, we're learning more about the son, about Matthew. Who was, I mean, man, he was there when Alice died. He was out there swimming with her. And we're learning that he's spending more time alone and also is developing some unusual bruises for no reason. He gets checked out by the doctor. They show some of those scenes. Also, the fact they're recording those, like they're recording like him at the doctor's office with all of these bruises all over his body.
They're like following them like The Office. They're like, yes, we're interested in this family. Okay, you're going to the doctor today?
Yeah.
I don't,
and I guess Matthew's okay with it. I mean, he consented, but so he's got these bruises and then they just resolve spontaneously. And, you know, we really don't revisit that again. There's some parts of this movie that are sort of brought up that are, you know what, never mentioned again.
No.
To be fair.
I'm going to mention them again. Don't worry.
Well, I'm excited for that. So we learn also that Matthew is some sort of cinephile, I guess. He likes to record video. He likes taking pictures.
An amateur photographer, videographer, if you will.
Yeah. So he's been, you know, he sets up some cameras that roll through the night. He sets up some cameras that take pictures of the backyard and everything. Mm-hmm. And when he develops them, and I think a very effective part of the movie, right? We see that there's something in those photos and in those videos. These photos. Yeah. It's like you just set up a camera and took a picture. So you're like doing much with them. I know.
But there's something in these photos.
Yeah, there's something in those photos. And that something is what looks exactly like Alice.
It's the creepiest image of Alice because it's kind of like translucent a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's her just standing there with her dark hair, long dark hair, in her like a green jacket.
Okay.
Just standing there looking.
It's the backyard one. It's so creepy. But there's other ones too, right? Where you see her in like mirrors and things like that. Yeah. And then alongside this, right? So that alone is like super creepy. But also some videos come out or pictures come out from people who were at the dam shortly after Alice's body was found. And you see something in the background that also looks like Alice, right? So these things are starting to add up. Like, is
either
she
Alice or Timothy Chalamet? You know, one or the other.
Alice or Timothy Chalamet, who knows? Who knows? Someone's in those pictures, and we want to get to the bottom of it. So, you know, I think rightfully so, they consult a psychic. Yeah. The Palmer family's like, there's a psychic who's on the radio.
Why would you question the validity of the photos in the video? I'm going straight to the psychic.
Straight to the psychic,
Straight to the source.
Yeah, like, let's go to the psychic. Contact. Let's like have some interviews with him. Let's bring him to the house. Let's hold a seance. Let's see what he thinks, right?
Yeah.
And if he thinks that Alice is really still here, then we can do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they want her to still be there, right?
I mean, certainly they do, right? They don't, and I think especially, so like I mentioned earlier, right? The father was the one that identified the body. June never saw the body. So with everything that's happening, the pictures where Alice is still in them, Ray, the psychic, coming over, holding a seance and basically telling them that there's a presence there.
Yeah.
That is starting to cast doubt. And a little bit. They've been like so much so that they actually exhume Alice's body.
When that happened, I'm like, excuse you? Like the amount of resources that goes into exhuming someone.
I know.
How do they even convince them? Like, I guess they showed them. So you didn't mention
the video and the pictures. Yeah,
these videos and the pictures were like making their way around town. So it was all the talk of the town.
It was all on the internet, and it was all on. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what made them famous, basically, right?
I think it took off, and they did exhume her.
Yeah,
because like she's still here. Like I don't know. We didn't see her, but she's in our yard. She's in the woods.
I know, and they actually believe that, or at least they were, like you said earlier, right? We're holding on to that.
Yeah.
So they exhume the body. They test the DNA. Like, turns out it was Alice, right? It matched Alice's DNA. And then at the same time, they also in this movie they show a recording from a couple who was also at the dam the same time when the prior picture of the other man who was at the dam was taken. And they zoom in. They actually have video of it. So they zoom in, and it's revealed that was not Alice in the background, but it
wasn't Timothée Chalamet,
and it wasn't Alice. It wasn't Timothée Chalamet. It was the brother Matthew.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and that for me, I was shocked by that. I wasn't expecting that.
Like, damn it, Matthew.
So Matthew, the brother, we learn more about him. So not only was he kind of going around the dam area where Alice was murdered, but he's also been faking.
He was wearing her jacket.
It was her jacket, right? Yeah, he was. So he was, I guess, trying to be close to her, Ash. Like, he wasn't trying to pretend that he was her, not at the dam, at least.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, excited to hear more about that.
But he also, I interrupted you, but you said he was also with the pictures. He was also
the pictures.
That.
So he was fabricating the pictures. He was using cardboard cutouts of Alex. He was using her image on a TV screen. Well, they were composed, like recomposed photos. How was he doing it? I mean, I don't know how he was doing it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was like photos and videos of her, and he somehow was able to separate that from the rest of the video and superimpose them.
Yeah, that's
like your first clue. Like, okay,
I had no idea. I had no idea.
I had no idea. But when they revealed it, when you rewatch it, you're like, oh, and it's the same photo. So like it kind of makes sense. It's still like straight,
but it's blurry in some, and then it's the clearest one was the one in the backyard, right? So it's,
that was the clearest.
And Matthew's reasoning for this is that he wanted to help his parents with the grieving process. So what better way to do that than convince them that your daughter's not actually dead and still alive and just showing up in your backyard? Like, I'm not entirely sure what his motivation was.
Okay, you psycho. What are you talking about? The motivation was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And when they're doing the interviews too, he's just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, rewatch it. Because you're rewatching it, he's doing these interviews, but he knew the whole time it was like fake, right?
Yeah,
just like, I just want to help my mom. I wanted them to exhume her. What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to be the end game here.
No, you didn't. And so now we know all those videos were fake. The movie, the videos and the photos were fake. But it's something interesting happens now. So again, there's several different inflection points in this movie, and the next one is a doozy.
Good Lord.
So this movie takes a turn that at least I wasn't expecting. I don't know about you, Ash.
No, I wasn't expecting this. No.
Expecting this.
What?
So, the mom June is kind of looking at some of the videos, and because again, Matthew set up these videos to record like 24/7, so they have a lot of footage. And in one of the videos, she sees a man in Alice's room, crouching, hiding.
Yeah.
In Alice's room.
Yeah.
And not just any man, but she recognizes him. This man is their next door neighbor, Brett Toohey. So like
the
naturally,
Toohey family.
Yeah. And so, I mean, to be fair though, Brett Toohey's doing exactly what June's doing and going into people's houses in the middle of the night,
They're kindred spirits.
Yeah, they are. They are. But, June's thinking like, why was my next door neighbor in Alice's room in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
And so, she checks things out. So he's kind of hovering around the fireplace in her room. So she goes into that fireplace.
Something?
Yeah, I think he was. And you know what? June found it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
I was not expecting.
No, nor was I.
We're about to.
Yeah, we're about to unfold. Yeah, so we're about to learn a little bit about Alice's secret life. So granted, 16-year-old teenage girl.
Oh, she was 16.
16. 16 years old.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
16 when she died.
Disturbing. Okay.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. So 16 years old. There's a video that she's hiding, a VHS tape. This is old school. A VHS tape that's hiding in that fireplace that the neighbor Brett Toohey was apparently trying to find, and
for good reason.
Wow, does it reveal some things. So it turns out Alice babysat for the Toohey family next door. And not only was she babysitting for them, but she was having a sexual relationship with Brett Toohey and his wife. And his wife. Of them. And they were recording those encounters, and that's what the VHS shows.
Well, there's the one encounter.
Well,
I think. Well, I don't know. They show one. They show one part.
I bet there's more than one. Yeah, but so some crazy stuff is happening. Alice is having a secret life. Apparently, threesome, statutory rape. I mean, there's a lot going on next door. So we're seeing that, right? So we're just really learning that. Yeah, Alice's life is not that no one really knew about everything, right? Like even her friends didn't know about it. Her friends in school. Yeah. Secrets. Yeah. Right? Yeah, secrets. And around this time, too, we also learned, so remember Ray, the psychic, who was helping
I will never forget Ray, ever.
Yeah, who was interviewing June and trying to help her. We also learned that he was interviewing and trying to help Alice the summer prior.
Ray's also a creep, guys. There's so much happening here.
Yeah. Turns out Ray, also creepy, knew Alice, never mentioned this to June. There's recordings. He also records all of his sessions. There's recordings of Ray speaking to Alice about some dreams she's having and experiences she's having. And he never mentioned this to June. And his reason for this is that patient-doctor confidentiality, I believe, Ash. I think, I mean, from my perspective too, it just seems like he's trying to be famous. But yeah, so Ray getting introduced to the Palmer family, that was not the first time. So, this definitely strains the relationship between Ray and the Palmer family.
Yeah. Yeah. Ray, at this point, he was living with them. Or not living with them, but like there all the time.
He was like vacationing with the son. Again, he had kind of a weird relationship with Matthew, the son, as well. They've become close at this point, right? And then once the family realizes that he had a previous relationship with Alice that he didn't disclose, they're done with Ray at that point. Yeah. Yeah. But now we're kind of we're in the third act of the movie now, and we learned from some of Alice's classmates when they went on this, I guess it's not a senior trip, right? Just a class trip in the summer to Lake Mungo. So
it was her birthday trip.
So Lake Mungo finally comes into play. Again,
and do you know what Lake Mungo is? It's a real place.
Is it an actual lake?
Because
I didn't see any body of water in those videos.
It's a dried out lake. Okay, right, so it's like a beach, I guess. Yeah. Or like a cavernous beach hole. I don't know. It's there's no water.
Yeah.
Used to be a lake.
So Alice goes there with her friends, and she was looking forward to this trip. It's in her calendar. She's really excited about it. And they have some interviews alongside this with their classmates that say she was acting funny during the trip. And then there's some videos that surface. I guess these are from her friends who were at Lake Mungo on the trip. And when we see in the videos that it seems like Alice was burying something at Lake Mungo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She went off on her own.
Yeah. And
to a dark
they didn't really know what she was doing.
Area and buried something.
Yeah. And so those phone videos, grainy phone videos came to surface. So the Palmer family sees them, and they decide that they're going to go to Lake Mungo to see if they can uncover exactly what Alice buried.
Yeah. So, but the best part of this whole thing, they're given the interview, and again, they have this like weird rationale for every decision they make, So we go out there. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves and go out and look for the story in the day. No, we're going to go out in the middle of the night when it's raining, like pouring rain, to go find this.
Three of us. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Who's looking for you at Lake Mungo?
No one is.
Who's looking for you?
And it's not like she buried like gold, like this. We don't know what it was, but like it wasn't like a body or like pirate's booty.
I like burst out laughing. I'm like, what do you mean? W's looking for you? Put a cap on and go out. Like
media, maybe was it media? Like I don't know.
There was no media there. None of the media knew about Lake Mungo. They knew about the other lake dam or whatever.
The dam.
They didn't know about Lake Mungo. Nobody knew about it. So what was the point of that?
I don't know, Ash, but I know they went. So the Palmer family
sure did.
Russell, June, and Matthew all go out to Lake Mungo in the middle of the night, find the spot that they saw in that video that Alice was burying her something, dig it up, they find it, and they see that it's, I think, a bracelet that she had, some jewelry, and her cell phone that she claimed she lost.
But, okay, this is another bone to pick. I have another bone to pick.
Ash had her bones to pick, everybody.
At the beginning of the movie, she must have got another cell phone then.
She said she lost it. She said she lost her phone at Lake Mungo. They talked about that.
But they got her another one.
She didn't have it. They got her another one. That was in August. She didn't die until December. So she had a few months.
She had another one. Okay. Yeah. That was my bone. I'm like, what do you mean? Like they talked about her phone and her getting text messages. Okay.
It was August.
So I digress.
Yeah. Lake Mungo birthday trip was in August. She didn't die at the dam until December. So
okay. That's some good clarification.
The Palmer family now is in possession of that buried phone. Like picture this, guys. It's 2005 when this took place. So it's a 2005 like flip phone. So they open that up. Yeah, we all know. Well, I had like the Samsung flip phone. I remember that.
Yeah.
So they open that up, and there are some videos. One video in particular on that phone, and they watch it.
Yeah, not like the other video, guys. This is very different.
No, it is not the Tui video. This is a video of Alice, like first person, I guess, where she's kind of wandering off at Lake Mungo, kind of wandering off in the dark. And all of a sudden she comes upon this figure, this decomposed figure with kind of the dark hair, and it's coming right towards her, and it kind of rushes towards her. And she's very, very scared by that. Yeah, very, very scared by that. So much so that it makes her bury her cell phone and other possessions at Lake Mungo. And when they're watching this, the Palmer family, the dad, Russell, recognizes it immediately. Mm-hmm. And he was the only one that could have recognized it, because what Alice saw was actually an image of her decomposed body that Russell saw a few months later after she drowned in the dam coming towards her. And I think
he describes it.
Yeah. With the eye, because one eye was like
swollen,
blacked out. Yeah.
But he describes it with the calmness of someone describing like the weather. This guy is not flustered. He's even keeled. Very interesting. Because when I watched it, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, that corpse, that vision of a corpse coming towards you, and it comes at you fast. But not only did Russell recognize it, right? Alice did too. So Alice recognized that for whatever reason as a future, like a premonition for her. Herself, she recognized that was her in the future. And so, some of these things start to make sense, like why she went to go see Ray. Why was she she shared that she was having these dreams of like her mother. She was almost having these dreams as if she was dead, and she was sharing that with Ray.
Clairvoyant, really.
Yeah, absolutely. But that video seemed to give closure to the Russell family. They repaired their relationship with Ray by the end of the movie, but they also decide that it's time to move on. So they sell their house. And at that point too, that some of the things that they're hearing, the noises, the different presences in the house, they start to stop. But they do see some things in the videos, right? Like I do need to state that they do look at some of the old videos, and it does still seem like there is some sort of presence in that house. But they do want to move on. So they decide to move on, pack everything up. They drive away. And as they're driving away, it kind of focuses in on, I guess, the window. I think it was Alice's bedroom window. And you see something in that window right as they're driving away. So it's definitely leaving the impression that she's not gone, that she actually was haunting the house, and that she is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's Lake Mungo, 2008.
What a disturbing ending, and I loved it.
Oh, I know. I loved every second of it. Like, don't get me wrong.
And was that all? I'll talk a little bit later about why that might not be all.
Oh, wait. I'm very excited for alternate endings on this.
A little bit of behind the scenes, trivia facts about this movie. So the ghost footage, all those things that they were doing with the videos, and the photos is actually, it wasn't CGI. It wasn't created with any kind of special effects. They actually used real low resolution cameras, a bunch of them, to create those effects. Yeah. And they decided to do that rather than digital. Yeah. To just love that. This is real. And then, so Joel Anderson, I guess this whole screenplay came about because he was having a hard time getting funding for some of his other screenplay ideas. So he's like, I'm going to try to write something that I could film on a really low budget. So he wrote the screenplay in 2005. And then he, kind of came up with the idea, I'm going to make it like this mocumentary, like a fictional documentary type of film. So he could, pretty low budget. We talked about Paranormal Activity and some of these other movies. Like you could film that pretty low budget. And when he's done some interviews, he's like recluse. He hasn't done anything else really. But when he's been asked about like his inspiration, because people are like, oh, it's like a, supernatural, haunting movie. And he actually, his opinion was that, it's a like an exploration of grief, right? That's kind of like the main inspiration of the movie. And then he also had this other kind of tidbit that he would say, regarding technology. So this came out in 2008, right? But his whole thing was, like pictures don't lie, and technology is used to kind of record people's lives and keep a record of it. So the technology that you have and what you're able to record can kind of dictate your experience, right? So that was also one of the other kind of driving forces behind the movie. And then this is really interesting. So this is what I meant earlier when we talked about kind of some of the weird things that were said in this movie. So very much like Paranormal Activity, they were given a rough outline of the script, and these actors were not well-known people. Yeah, so he wanted to give
improv.
Yeah, some of it was improv. So he wanted to give them, low-profile actors people wouldn't know, so they would kind of feel, because when you're watching it almost feels
real.
like, is this a documentary? This is so good.
I know. I felt that.
And he wanted it to be really real and authentic. So yeah, it was shot over 5 weeks, I guess, and they used film and video to shoot it. And a lot of it was he gave them the outline, and a lot of them were improvising the scenes. So I think that has a lot to do with some of the, the things that you're kind of like the car going backwards, some of those things. I don't know if that was in the script. But yeah, so that's kind of.
But they filmed it going backwards too. So if he said it, then they had to go back and do B-roll or something to film it.
To be fair, I don't know if that was in the treatment, but those are some of the behind the scenes on how this film was made.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Okay, everybody, we are doing something brand new tonight. Well, it's not brand new, but it's new to the pod lately. We're adding a new category. In this category, well, Allie, I'm going to actually let you tell us all about it. What are we doing tonight?
Yeah, we're excited. We're going to liven things up, freshen things up on Sips and Screams, and we're adding a new category. And it is called 3-Sentence Sips.
And
let me... Yeah. And let me explain. So for those of you who recall, there was a series that was on Netflix. It was called 2-Sentence Horror Stories. Mm-hmm. And so you had to describe.
Loved it.
It was describing a horror story. They would start with one sentence, then they would have the whole episode, and then they would end it with the second sentence. So, we're not quite doing 2. We're going to do 3. But I would,
we need more real estate.
We do. We do.
These long
These are movies, it's a movie. It's a little lengthier. We need to add one more sentence there. But we do our deep dive on the synopsis, but I'd love to be able to describe it in 3 sentences and also poll our listeners. So I'll give my version, and then I want to hear from our listeners. How would you describe Lake Mungo in only 3 sentences? Okay. And you know what? We'll pick a winner, and we'll decide on some sort of prize for that mesh.
What could their prize be?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe a mention. Yeah, we could have them on the pod at some point. I don't know. We'll think about it.
I think they should get a ribbon. Ribbon.
Okay. We could
a blue ribbon. Or maybe red for Sips and Screams.
Absolutely.
We'll think about it.
Yeah. We'll think about it. But I'm very excited to have some engagement there and with our listeners and hear what you think, because It's not easy doing the synopsis of some of these movies, and to break it down into, minimize it to 3 sentences, I think is a challenge. And so I'm excited for it. Like, it's a challenge I accept, Ash.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. All right.
God.
Okay. I'm doing Lake Mungo this week. So my 3-sentence sips. Here we go. You ready?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. A teenage girl drowns. But wait, is she really dead? And now haunting her family? Nope. Just the brother faking videos and photos. Actually, nope. Again, she was haunting them all along and even predicted her own death. That's my 3 sentences.
Oh, that was 3 sentences. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out the punctuation. I'm like, what?
You know what? I can show you. It works. It works. There's some commas. There's some ands in there. It works. But I challenge our listeners to do better. You know what? I do the pauses for dramatic effect, and I challenge you to do better. Ash, I challenge you to do better. Listeners, let us know. Can you describe Lake Mungo in 3 sentences? Can you do better than me? I think you can. I think listeners can do better than I did.
I think they can too. And, we're going to go back and forth. Allie did it this week. I'm going to do another one at some point. We really want our listeners to chime in here. So let us know what you got. Okay, it is time for Screamometer. I'm so excited.
Me too.
Okay. What are you eating this one?
Okay, you always start with me first, but I'm
waiting with
I'm excited.
Bated breath.
I know, you're going to be excited, I think, about what I gave this one. So, man, this movie. And so I've only seen this movie once, everybody. I watched it. Ash had seen it. She told me about it, and we were going to do it on the pod. So I watched it for the first time earlier this week. I give this movie a 9 out of 10, which for those who've been listening, that's high for me. My 10 out of 10 is Paranormal Activity. Yeah. I rate this solely on when I went to bed after watching this movie. I was incredibly unsettled. It was very hard to sleep. This movie sticks with you. I think the haunting of it, those visuals, you can't get them out of your head. I love the atmosphere. There were some holes in it. But I love the atmosphere. I love what they created here. 9 out of 10 for me on the Screamometer.
Fantastic. I mean, that's a high rating from you.
Yeah.
So I've seen it twice. And I'm basing this on, yes, my first watch, but also my second watch and kind of how still creeped out I was. Yeah. I will say on the second watch, the first watch, I was like terrified nightmares. Yeah. Right. The second watch, when the plot, it's a little easier to digest and kind of watch the whole thing. You're looking at it through a different lens. Yeah. But if you go all the way through, it's still creepy AF. Yeah. It's not Paranormal Activity creepy for me either, but it's really, really creepy. Really creepy vibes. I'm giving it a 9 too. We aligned.
Yes, we like a bell. Like rarely happens.
We need some kind of like a special.
We do. We need a bell. We need like a gong.
Yeah.
Like when this happens, because it never happens. Yeah.
No. We aligned. 9 on the Screamometer.
Yeah, it's a great one. I highly recommend it for those of you who want to be scared, but not just scared during it, to be creeped out for hours later. Like, again, I still think about it. It was very hard for me to sleep that night.
So we all know, if you listen to the podcast, that like my comfort movie is Zodiac, right? It's like my comfort movie.
We all know that.
I'll just throw it on. The other night I threw it on. I'm like, I just want to watch a good movie. Yeah, I think this might be another version of that.
Comfort movie.
Like a comfort.
You really enjoy it when you want to chill, like relax in bed at night. You're like,
I want to be Mungo. No, I want to be like scared. Like it immediately sets you in that vibe, but it's not like so scary that like I can't handle it like Paranormal Activity. Yeah. Right? So it's like nice.
Paranormal's like
Paranormal's like, no.
That's tough. Yeah.
I can't deal with like possession. I can deal apparently with the drowning and the haunting of the house. Okay, it is time for Sip and Tell, where we discuss our personal experiences related to the content of the movie. Yeah. Allie, I have to throw to you. What do you have for this one, for Lake Mungo? I feel like you have some good stuff.
I do. And I will say that my Sip and Tell came from the very beginning of this movie. So,
what?
Yeah. So that very first scene, where they're showing all the pictures. Yeah. So they're showing, this movie starts out with all of these black and white photos, and they kind of cycle through them. To be fair, the photos are getting a little creepier as they go, but they're cycling through them, and then the mockumentary starts. So for me, I believe I've talked about this on the pod earlier, but you know what? I'll bring it up again. I will take any opportunity to bring this up.
Fine.
So in high school, we were in high school during the Blair Witch era.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had a school project where you had to do something about Canadian history. Yeah. You had to do something about Canadian history. And so like naturally, since Blair Witch was so popular, like me and my team did a local folklore story called the Dungarvan Hooper. For those of you who don't know, Google that. It's a great one. So it's a great story of this cook who was murdered up in Dungarvan near Miramichi, New Brunswick, Canada, and his ghost haunts the woods. Yeah, he hoops and his ghost haunts those woods. So naturally, we did a documentary on that for my Canadian history project. Yeah, naturally. And you know what? This was, so maybe they copied from me, but the very beginning of our documentary, a real documentary, was also black and white photos, still photos, and we cycled through them before we got to it. So, when I saw this movie, I was like, cliche much, rip off much? Like, did they see my Dungarvan Hooper high school documentary, John Anderson, and copy that? Because that's all I could think about when I saw it. Because it was VHS. Did someone digitize it and put it online? You should put it on YouTube. I have it digitized, Ash. You should put it on digitized. Yeah. Why don't we put it on the Sips and Screams YouTube page? We will. I'll find it. Yeah. We'll put it up on Sips and Screams. Everyone can see my high school documentary that I did on Dungarvan Hooper. But you know what? The similarities are eerie between the beginning of this movie and the beginning of my documentary. But I will. I'll try to put it up on YouTube. I didn't remember the beginning of the movie, but I was also. But do you remember the beginning of Dungarvan Hooper documentary? Because no, I'm saying I don't remember the beginning of your doc. I didn't know that you had the black and white photos. Oh yeah, I need to rewatch. We cycled through them. It was amazing. Oh, that's so good. And there was a local historian singing. Yeah, it was very similar. Ash, yeah, it's all I could think of. Yeah, and that was in 1999, everyone. So who stole from who? I don't know. You might be onto something there. I also had not a starring role, a guest starring role in this. Oh, I call it starring documentary. I was starring. So the end. It was so good. Before I really took my voice seriously, and I would never do this nowadays, but for singing and bands and stuff. But back then. I'm like, I can scream. I can do one of those horrific screams that they do in the horror movies. And so we filmed me kind of running through the dark, just screaming bloody murder at the end. That's me. Yeah. That's people are going to watch this. I mean, people might want to watch it. I think we need to put it up on. I could definitely get clips. I have it digitized. Let me see if I can get some clips, and I'll post reels on Instagram with it. So I have a question. What did you get on this class project? Because it was pretty involved. Yeah, I mean, high 90 grade, Ash. I don't know. You can get 100%. I don't think I got 100%. I think I'm still bitter about that. But yeah, it was up there, Ash. Like you are. Okay. Probably 99, 98. Yeah, it was up there. Allie was the Dawson Leary of our high school, apparently. She was filming movies. That's right. Yeah, I love that sip and tell. Yeah. My sip and tell is this, and we've talked about this in some of the other podcasts, but sleep paralysis is a real thing. And the thing that the mother is talking about, I know. I'm surprised you didn't mention this. When I watched, I thought of that too. I just had my other sip and tell. I know what you're speaking of. Yeah. Okay, so you didn't want to have two. Got it. Just I didn't want to steal your thunder. I can only have one. So sleep paralysis is when you think that you are awake, but you're actually still sleeping. You're in REM sleep. So you're atonal. So you can't actually, which just means you can't move your muscles, right? At all. You can't actually move. But you're still taking in, you're making sense, I guess, I should say, of your surroundings. You're just not conscious. But you have these visual hallucinations where it's almost like demons coming at you. It is the most terrifying thing ever. And we both experience it. Ash and I both experience it, everybody. It's actually more prevalent in women and in twins. And if you sleep on your back. And in twins? Supine. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But I think twins are probably more suggestible, right? So we don't know if it's just it's actually, you're more similar, but you also tell the person about it. So that can also influence, your dream states. But so yeah, it's really terrifying. You experience this sensation kind of coming towards you. And some people say that they see things the mother said at the edge of their bed, right? I saw a ghost at the edge of my bed. I saw something coming towards me. So I have experienced that. I experience more of the sounds, it's these weird sounds in my ear and almost a whooshing sound coming towards me, but it's very scary. It almost feels ghost-like.
so I don't know if it's like, I like horror movies and like horror genres. So like I'm more susceptible to sleep paralysis, or it's the chicken or the egg, like the other way around.
Yeah.
Right. But that's definitely something that I experienced, not so much lately, but it still happens sometimes, and it's
terrifying,
very freaky, very scary.
It is.
And you had I just want you to talk about the one that you had, because you actually saw like a figure before
at the end of the bed. Yeah, I did. Yeah, when you said that, and I did think of this when June was describing it in the movie. But yeah, so I have sleep paralysis as well, but I have on multiple occasions woken up, and there is this figure. It's always at the end of the left-hand side of the bed. And so you wake up and you see it, right? And you're kind of waking up and you're like, is that something real? And then you kind of open your eyes and you're like, oh, no, I see it. And it's always this figure. There's like a very pronounced nose in it. You kind of close your eyes. It's a long nose. Yeah. And it's there for some time and you see it, and then you close your eyes, you open them again. It's still there. Eventually it does go away. But yeah, I have seen that figure at the end of the bed. It's a man and mine at the end, left-hand side of the bed. But yes, it's been some time since I've seen it, but certainly a few times during my life I've seen that.
Probably going to see it tonight because we've talked about it.
Probably will.
Whenever I talk
now I'm going to have sleep paralysis.
Whenever I talk to you about sleep paralysis, I then experience it. But very, very creepy. Okay, it is time for Sips and Scares, where we discuss the scariest parts of the movie. We both gave this a 9. Yeah, right? Okay, number 1. I think we can both agree.
The corpse coming towards her, Lake Mungo.
That corpse,
terrifying. It was because there are no jump scares in this movie. There's no jump scares in this movie, and that is maybe the only one. But they don't do the loud music thing. It's terrifying.
I picture this. I need everybody to picture.
Describe it.
This faint. It looks just like white. This thing coming in the distance. It's like coming towards you, kind of slowly. It's almost like floating towards you.
Yeah,
and then it becomes a little more clear. Right? The closer it gets to you, and then you start to see the face. You start to see the white skin, the dark hair, the eye, everything, and then it just comes really quick up to her. It is
really quick.
It is like a rag doll, like thrown at you. It is the scariest, most horrifying thing.
And you're not expecting it when you watch this movie, because
I jumped.
Yeah, it's very scary. So that's the number. Yeah, that is the number 1 scare in this movie. I think, like, I challenge anyone to give us one that's scarier than that in this movie. But I'd say also all of the photos, the videos, especially with the show's ghost Alice kind of walking slowly through, it's so creepy, and it's done at night. It sets the tone where, again, I had a hard time sleeping. So
sorry,
all of that terrifying.
Okay, Ghost Matthew.
No,
the videos weren't her.
No, the videos were her. No, later there are parts at the end of this movie where they look at it again and it is her. So there are parts that it was her. Yes.
Okay. I thought the videos weren't, but some of the photos.
No, some of the videos weren't. But when they looked at them again, kind of after Matthew admitted to it, that's when they looked back and saw like Brett Toohey hiding in her bedroom. No, they did confirm that some of them did seem real. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's very creepy because when they zoom in the background, they show her in the videos, and the photos is kind of pixelated, but it still looks like her.
Yeah,
it is,
and it's moving.
It's so creepy. Oh, it's so creepy. I don't know if it's moving. Some of the still ones, I don't know if it's moving. You're just like projecting that movement.
Fair. Okay, fair.
Yeah, it's still creepy. It doesn't matter. I thought one of the scariest things about this movie was when they're describing some of the things that happened. Like you mentioned, the father, he went into her room, he saw her at the desk.
Yeah.
It's all just in your head. Like he's just auditorily relaying this information, right?
But he's doing a damn good job.
He's describing it so vividly that in your head, you can see all of this. Same thing when the mother goes to Ray.
Yeah.
He's asking her to walk through the house, and she's like, okay, open the door. Okay, I'm in the house. Okay, go up to her door. Okay, I'm there. Oh, her shoes are outside the door. Okay, you ready to go in? Yes, I'm ready to go in. I open the door, and then they kind of show you the empty room, but they don't show you.
You're waiting for something to happen, but they never show you.
Nothing happens.
Because they're different time periods, right? Yeah. And then, like, on the contrary, I alluded to this some during synopsis, but Alice is having those same interviews with Ray. I don't know how he doesn't connect the dots on that, where she's describing her mom coming in. And this happened before it all happened. But he never mentions it to her. So Alice is describing this months later after she's dead. June's describing this months later after she's dead, and Alice is describing this 4 months before she dies, right? So it's very the time lapse piece of this is interesting.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? So when Alice's mom does the interview, it's like I went in her room, I saw her, sitting on the edge of the bed, right?
Yeah.
And she didn't say anything. And then Alice, when she's doing her interview way before, says, I saw my mom come in, in my room, and I'm sitting there. Like, so you're like, what is going on? Like, what is happening here? Scary. Right. It kind of plays
that's
in your
the tone.
mind.
I completely agree with you. The storytelling of this movie did a really good job to set that tone. And I was the same as you when they're describing it, like completely freaked out. So yeah.
And I think the other unsettling, I mean, this movie is just unsettling. That's the right word, right? It's unsettling. You're like, oh, the whole time. Even if you just take it as like a grieving family, it's still unsettling, like everything about it. Although I think it's obviously more than that. The music, the score is really good.
It's so good.
It's jarring at points. It's kind of like atmospheric at other points. It sets the tone. It is fantastic. So that all of that together just makes it's like a perfect horror movie, right? It's very, very good. Everybody should watch it. And it's an easy watch. It's like 90 minutes.
Yeah. It's a solid 90.
Throw it on tonight. Okay, it's time for cliches and ripoffs. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay. What did it rip off? What ripped off it? Apparently, it ripped off your 1999 high school documentary.
Yeah, number one, my 1999 high school documentary that John Garvin Hooper,
clearly.
John Anderson, you ripped off my beginning. Yeah. 10 years later, but you know what? No hard feelings. I'm okay with it.
But did you rip off The Shining out at the end? Like, because you're a big Shining fan.
Oh, I ripped off Blair Witch too. Yeah. Most of that documentary was a complete ripoff of Blair Witch. So it's okay.
People in glass houses out here. Come on.
It's okay. Ash, it's all right. You know what? I completely understand. Okay. Cliches and ripoffs. Okay. I want to start with ripoffs though, because you watched this movie, right? And because I know we just covered Presence recently, the Steven Soderbergh movie. Man, and I hadn't seen Lake Mungo. I know. Had I seen Lake Mungo when I watched Presence, I would have been like, damn, they completely stole from Lake Mungo, but I hadn't seen it yet. And it completely, the time-lapse thing that stole completely from Lake Mungo.
We did it right. I'm so happy we watched Presence first.
Yeah, so much.
We mentioned in our cliches and ripoffs, we'd never seen it, but I'm like, apparently, because it's all in like the lore of Presence that it ripped off. Like, it wasn't rip off. They say that they were inspired by Lake Mungo.
Completely ripped
the ending with the four, like the parents and the daughter and the son. Yeah. It was just the dead daughter in this.
But the time jumping too, because they time jumped in Lake Mungo. Yeah.
Time jumping. Yeah. It's all insanely crazy. But then the other big one, so Hell House, we also covered Hell House.
Yes.
They said they were really inspired by
found footage piece.
Yeah.
Or the mockumentary stuff.
Yeah, but it's the exact same. So go watch the beginning of Lake Mungo and the beginning of Hell House. And it's like the same with the pictures and like everything they did with the stills. So, okay, wait, I need to go back to the scary part. And I didn't mention it, but there's the part where they have the picture in the funeral home and there's those two guys just like standing there. I'm sorry. That was so eerie and so scary. The funeral
at the beginning? At the beginning?
No,
or later. Oh, later when she dies. Okay. Yeah.
They keep going back to these stills. And Hell House does that too.
I love the stills. Yeah.
The stills, you're like, and you're just like playing with your head at that point. So scary. Hell House for sure. Go listen to our Hell House episode. There's a lot of parallels there. Halloween with the shots in the house throughout the house the whole time they're doing that. Whenever they do that.
Yeah.
That is Halloween. Actually did it first at the end of Halloween.
They were the first
when they're going through the houses, and we talked about that in Presence.
In Presence, we did. Yeah.
Halloween for sure. Obviously, Paranormal Activity. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, with the setting up the video camera and seeing the stuff. Yeah.
The bad stuff happens at night. The medium guy coming in, although Ray was like totally chill and like brave, right?
Man, Ray versus Dr. Fredericks. Ray versus Dr. Fredericks. Yeah. Yeah, Ray was more willing to help.
It's different, I guess, when it's like your family member versus some entity that you don't know.
They wanted to contact her.
Yeah, they wanted to. It was less ominous. Yeah. And then It Follows. This reminded me a lot of It Follows. Because at the end, when she finally goes to, when you see the footage of Lake Mungo and there's that thing coming towards her, you could see that as like literal death coming for her, right? Mm-hmm. And It Follows, which I really want to do.
I will do It Follows, yeah.
It's all about that, like death following you, right? And if you want to take it really literally, like death following you, Final Destination. Right?
I knew you were going to say that.
All of those kind of, Final Destination was actually first, but maybe inspired by each other.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
Yeah, I have a couple more, Ash. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned one of these. And we'll have to tag.
That's why there's two of us on this.
Some of our Instagram colleagues said that we had a whole conversation with them. We'll have to post it on Instagram. Skinamarink.
Oh, yes. No, I thought it was Skinamarink.
So Skinamarink, guys, it's a Canadian, right? It was a Canadian
It's not
director.
Canadian.
Yes, it is. It's Canadian. I
Skinamarink
love to
is
say.
Canadian. I apologize.
Yeah, Skinamarink is Canadian because
As a
Skinamarink
Canadian.
was Skinamarink dinky dink.
No. I didn't know it was like a Canadian film.
Yeah, it's a Canadian one.
Skinamarink?
It was a short story, and then he made it a full length one. It's a lot, everybody, but there's all that grainy video in it.
It's a lot and yet nothing. All at
Yeah,
once.
but to be fair, Skinamarink
Enigma
copied
wrapped
from
it
this. Yeah, copied from Lake Mungo because Skinamarink came out later. But we will have to ask some of our Instagram friends about this because I know they watched it recently. And white noise, Ash.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Again, with the graininess, I think they did a really good job with that. And they were in the unique place, right, in 2005 with the cell phone footage. They didn't know it at the time. Yeah. But damn, did that make a scary horror movie. Because it was pixelated. Yeah.
Oh, you're
and
right.
you don't know it at the time, but like zooming in and barely being able to make something out. And they did the exact same thing in White Noise when his dead wife was on the White Noise and they zoomed in and it was sort of the pixelated version of her. So definitely. And again, White Noise came out before this, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I think right around the same time. No, 2005. Yeah. So this was copy White Noise as well.
I'm going to raise you one more.
Okay.
And say Mothman prophecies. When they
Okay.
zoom
Which we
in
just did.
on Mary's picture and they zoom in, it gets kind of more pixelated as they go further. And it only gets creepy, honestly, when they zoom in. Otherwise, you're like, what a nice photo.
Which picture are you talking about? Because there's several Mary pictures.
What do you mean,
as
what
we've
photo?
discussed.
The like Polaroid that he has.
The one he carries around. The photo of Mary that we talked about, yeah.
And they zoom in, and it only, like I said, it only gets creepy when they zoom in on her eyes. And that's similar to this. If you zoom in on any photo, it's going to get creepy. You know,
I agree.
Like
But
as a
you didn't have to
photo.
zoom in before because like the resolution wasn't good. So it did it for you back in 2005.
I don't care. Take any photo. Take a screenshot of us right now and then
Zoom in.
It's like benign, right? And then zoom in. You're like, oh, like it's just going to be creepy. Okay, it is time for alternate endings. Dun 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 dun.
And apparently there are some. I'm so excited, Ash.
Okay, there aren't alternate endings. I
There are
did a
not?
bait switch there. There are no alternate endings, but what I want to talk about is this.
You had me so excited. How could you do that to me?
Okay, calm down.
Yeah.
So
I take it seriously.
you were like, and that is Lake Mungo. Oh no. When they drive away, when they drive away and you see her, like her pixelated image in the house.
I described that. And I
You described that. And you said that was the ending. There are post-credit scenes.
Oh, I didn't even watch. No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
There are post-credit scenes that make everything pretty clear, I think. So there's these extra scenes. So don't just stop. And you're like, what a great movie. And go to
I
bed.
was like, keep watching. Nighty night, everybody. And I'm going to have trouble sleeping tonight. No, I did not finish it.
Well, these aren't going to help if you're
Apparently.
sleeping. These extra
Oh,
scenes aren't going to help
God.
you. They're going to make it so much worse. See, if you left the movie thinking like maybe that was her, maybe it was some other manipulated photo, the extra scenes make it really clear that Alice was there.
Yeah,
so what they do is
that's what I
this. It's
assumed.
but it's so good. So they show it's photos again. So like they think there's 3 extra photos in the credits. And then there's one final post-credit scene. So they show more photos, and this time they go back to our favorite backyard shot, right? We talked about it, where Alice is standing there, Maddie,
That Matthew manipulated. Yeah.
and it zooms in and it shows you. Guess what? There was someone else in that photo. So they
Alice?
zoom in this time, not like by the fence. No. They zoom in now on the right-hand side, and they zoom right in to the bench. And guess who's sitting there? Oh, it's Alice. Alice is just sitting there. She's there in the photo the whole time. And if you go on Reddit, people have talked about this and be like, well, I saw her there the whole time. Like, I definitely didn't see her because
I didn't see her. I saw the left-hand one where Matthew put her.
Because that's, but that's where like the camera's going, right? So there's that, and you're like, oh, ooh, this is great. And then it backs to the credits, and then there's another photo where it's a really weird like birthday they're singing happy birthday to Matthew. It's a video, and then it zooms into the left, and again, it's Alice. So this is after she died. I guess he had a birthday.
Yeah.
I don't know. And they zoom in on Alice. It's like a really pixelated photo. And there's one more photo. I don't even know what this one is. Actually, it's like a childhood Alice. I don't know. And they zoom in on it, but there's no ghost in that per se, but it's just like a creepy photo. I guess he just like threw that one in there. And then the credits end, and there's a post-credit photo. And this one is back at Lake Mungo, right? So that dried up lake.
Yeah.
And it's Alice's ghost. I don't know. They zoom in. It's like, it almost looks like black and white, where she's just standing there, like in like her final resting spot, I guess, in Lake Mungo.
Wait, so her standing that there. Photo. I don't know who took that photo. They did when the Palmer family, when they visited.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Were they taking photos?
Yeah. I don't know who took the photo, but that's how it ends. And it like zooms in, but the score, it's like almost this like heart beating, like beeping sound with the score. It's like terrifying. And that's how it actually ends. So the first time I watched it, I just stopped. I did not even know there was post-credit
I didn't even know. I literally stopped because for me, I understood that she was there the whole time.
Like, I get it.
It was like, and I had seen Presence. I think if you hadn't seen Presence, maybe you wouldn't have felt that way. But I was like, okay, this makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so that's the ending. Keep watching. I think it's very clear that she actually is like haunting left there. But yeah, those are kind of the extended endings.
Oh, I love it.
I will say.
I can't believe I didn't watch
for Lake Mungo. Well, you have to go watch it.
Even
after
you describing them, Ash, like creeped me out. So yeah, I think if I had watched them, like I would have had even more trouble sleeping.
Okay, it is time for the villain. Dear God, the villain of this movie. I have a lot to say. May I start?
Yeah, Ash, please start. I want to hear from you. Okay. I want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, I've alluded to this when you went over synopsis. Okay, because there's a lot of things that weren't explained. Maddie, the brother.
Yeah.
Number one, very creepy to do the manipulation thing. But are we sure that he didn't kill her in the lake?
No, we're not sure.
Okay, he was swimming with her. He comes out. He's like, all of a sudden, she wasn't behind me.
Yeah, Ash, we're not sure he didn't kill her. What do you mean? I immediately thought that.
And then he has these bruises, right? So like,
she's attacking him potentially.
Attacking him for like,
that's right.
Yeah, drowning her in the lake, or like there were some theories online. People talking about like maybe like he was abusing her. Like there's just some weird things that happened, and Maddie's just like kind of creepy. It seemed like he wanted her out of the picture.
Yeah,
the birthday scene at the end is like "Happy birthday, dear Maddie."
Yeah,
like, and how old is he supposed to be? Like 15.
He's younger than her, I think. So
yeah. The whole thing is just creepy. And like, was that like she was coming back to like try to warn the family that he did it?
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of the opposite of Presence, right? Where the brother is not helpful at all.
Yeah, it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
And then the mother. Mike, I already told you my issues with the mother. I feel like
you always blame me for blaming the mother or choosing the mother.
I blame the father too in this one. He seemed really creepy, but the mother, her not going to see her daughter in the morgue, I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I also had Matthew as the villain for sure. And I think I agree with you. I think the whole movie, I thought, especially at the beginning, I was like, oh, he killed his sister. And they never really revisit that. Yeah, I don't understand why he wasn't investigated or that wasn't investigated. Yeah. You know, another one, I think Ray's the villain.
Oh.
Hippocratic oath, whatever. The fact that he didn't tell them that Alice came to him with a very similar story about a dream. Yeah. I'm sorry, no. Like, it just doesn't make any sense why he obviously he would have recalled that just a few months earlier, Alice was telling a very similar story from the other perspective. Like, I think he's certainly the villain there, and he could have given them a lot of closure had he mentioned that earlier. And she was dead. Like, doesn't it die at that point? There is no protecting the patient when they're dead, right? I don't know. Doctors tell me, but I don't think so.
But this guy's like a medium, like a psychic. Like he didn't see this coming, and he didn't connect the dots. He didn't connect the dots. So when the mother's there telling her story,
like, oh, your daughter said this like just a couple of months ago.
He could have played the tape of the daughter saying they could have put them together.
He's the villain.
She's saying this. He's doing that. Like this whole thing was going to happen. No, I mean, you might have a point there. I mean, the neglect that the whole thing is yes, about like grieving families, but it really seemed like Alice wasn't seen, right? Well, she wasn't seen.
That's why she went to the Tuies, to be seen.
Like maybe. Oh God,
I mean, the Tuohys are obviously villains in this movie, but like,
or maybe she did it to like get back at her family. I don't know what was going on there, but
I don't know.
It was very creepy. Yeah. It's hard to pick one villain. I think there are more than one villain in this movie. Nobody's like a good character. Even Alice was complicated, right? There really isn't one person that's like the hero. It's a character-driven movie, but what a great horror movie. Well, that's going to do it for Sips and Screams episode 28, Lake Mungo. Thank you so much for joining us and listening today. Join us next time as we sip on more themed cocktails and discuss the good, the bad, and the truly terrifying of our favorite horror movies. Cheers. Cheers. Sweet dreams.